Howdy folks, welcome to the channel. I'm Don. This is Rockin' the Country, where I react to non-pop country music. And Sarah Beth Terry fits that category to a T. She is definitely not pop. And Sarah Beth made a gift to the channel for me to do one of her own songs. And I've reacted to a lot of Sarah Beth stuff, courtesy of Marlene McKinney and just my own doing, and love it. So this one, it was just released yesterday, and the title is Left. And I think we all know what that would be, I'm guessing. I mean, it wouldn't be like a left right. It would be like somebody left. Somebody left something. But it could be a good thing. Somebody left everything in their will to you. Or it could be a horrible thing, like somebody left me and I'm distraught. So anyhow, Sarah Beth, thank you for this gift and for this request, and congratulations on your recent release. And I'm going to put on another appropriate hat, Kentucky, because Sarah Beth is in Estill County, Kentucky. I wanted to do this reaction with my girlfriend who's from Kentucky, but she happens to be working today, and I wanted to get this up. But maybe we'll do another one of Sarah Beth's songs, and it'll just be Sean and me. That's my girlfriend's name doing it. All right, so here we go. It's an ominous guitar.
What if I just left?
Oh.
Got in the car with what I've got on and drove away. Would I make it any further than the break of day? Before I ran out of gas and I had to turn back. What if I just left?
I think a lot of people
didn't leave a note or nothing and just disappeared. Would you even notice that I wasn't here? Or would you just carry on? Say I'm glad that she's gone. 'Cause I keep staying, nothing's changing. I got my finger in the dam, and I'm trying, but I'm dying. 'Cause you don't know who I am. I'm not her, he ain't you. We ain't what they put us through. But you can't help yourself. So what if I just left?
Not being known for who you are is very empty and lonely.
What do I have left? Just some odds and ends and a few close friends, and that's pretty much it. After the last disaster, I don't give a shit. Can't take it with me when I go, and if anyone would know. But I keep staying, nothing's changing. I got my finger in the dam, and I'm trying, but I'm dying. 'Cause you don't know who I am. I'm not her, he ain't you. We ain't what they put us through. But you can't help yourself. So what if I just left?
There's a lot in this song. It's beyond what meets the ear.
And you could probably stop me if you wanted to. But really there ain't no sense in telling you. But I keep staying, nothing's changing. Got my finger in the dam, and I'm trying, but I'm dying. And you just don't give a damn. I'm not her, he ain't you. We ain't what they put us through. But you can't help yourself. What if I just left? What if I just left?
I like that low fit on the violin.
What if I just
creative ending there. There, there's a lot in that, but the invalidation factor, so to speak, like like one of the keys to a vibrant relationship, whether it's a romantic love relationship, whether it's a friendship, child, parent, sibling, whomever, is validate. Even in the workplace, it's validation where you look at another person and you see who they are. It doesn't mean you agree with them, whether someone's Democrat or Republican or Catholic, Jewish, atheist, whatever. You don't have to agree with them, but you don't have to be a jackass to them either. But to know who somebody is and to still be friendly toward them, at least, like in the workplace or wherever, that it, that's the mark not merely of a heightened intelligence, but just of a civil way of going about doing things. In a romantic relationship, being with somebody, the work doesn't stop when you move in with them or you get married or whatever. It's you continue maintaining that relationship. Same way you have to maintain a car, a boat, anything. You the work doesn't stop. So it means believing in another person means looking into them and seeing the nuances of who they are and speaking to the things that you admire about them. And if there are things that maybe need work, to be gentle about how saying, maybe you ought to consider being on time for things or whatever the issue is. Or maybe you should consider being a little bit more patient. I can see you trying and people are frustrating, but whatever, you could do that. But when somebody has beautiful things about them, and they do because that's why you fell in love with them to begin with, it's important to continue making those observations. And that is so affirming. And I don't mean in the cheerleading way, because cheerleading to me is bullshit. I can't stand cheerleading because it's so cliche. It's so easy. It doesn't require thought. It's just bravo, good job, good job. It's like, all right, fine. You can say that every so often. I get it. You don't always have the energy to put deep thought into complimenting another person or expressing your ideas fully. You may not have the time. I mean, if you've got 3 or 4 kids running around, you're not gonna get the chance all the time to express your thoughts completely, so you make them much more concise, even in your compliments. But in a relationship where it's one-on-one and just the 2 of you, then you need to be more articulate, and because you begin to feel invisible and being misunderstood. I've said this on other videos, not just the reaction videos, but on my life coaching channel and probably in some of my books, that being misunderstood is arguably the loneliest feeling you can have because you're with somebody and they don't know you. They're not just saying mean things to you. Like somebody could be a jackass and just be mean or just really bad person. They could turn into one in the relationship and just become mean. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about somebody who might even be good natured, but misunderstands you, doesn't understand what motivates you, doesn't understand where you come from, doesn't understand your life story, doesn't understand how that impacts how you are today, doesn't look at the totality of who you are or isn't trying to. That is extraordinarily lonely being misunderstood in that regard. And I like the double usage of the word left in this one, the Sarah Beth that you use. I really like it. I was so glad that you came. I didn't see it coming either. I thought you were going to stay strictly in the pocket of what if I just left? Because that's a very powerful topic. I think almost everybody in any relationship has had that thought. And there are times in relationships where it's very difficult. And there are times in the relationship where the person you're with is going to have a bad stretch. Maybe they're not thoughtful. Maybe they're distant. Maybe they're giving you the silent treatment or what have you. And you've probably done the same thing to them, to the person that you're with. I don't mean you personally, Sarah Beth. I mean, each of us has done that to the generic you, the universal you. We've all done it. Because we don't always have the bandwidth or the insight or the emotional fortitude to continue in every single moment, like on television, where everybody just is able to come up with the right words, the right thought, the right everything to settle the situation down. So we've all had those ideas of like freedom, hitting the highway, and Thelma and Louise style. Let's get out there, and then shit goes really wrong in that movie. But just hit the highway. I'll live a life, be a lot freer. I'll be away from this. But it's a hard life. It's a hard life out there too. But the double usage of the word left, like, what if I left? And then what would I have left? A couple of friends. That was a really good bit of insight, because that is what gets you through life in difficult times, is friends. And I've got a couple of really good friends that I've been going through life with. And I've got more friends that I've collected along life's path, if you will, that I've made that I love them dearly. My friends Crystal and uh, Eddie, and folks that I've met, in the last 15 years. But I've got my buddies Craig and Tosh and Jimmy. I mean, we go back, and Kathleen. We go back to Kathleen and I go back to kindergarten. And these are people that I love dearly. I know their spouses, their children, been to weddings, but I know that they love me because not only of who I am, but sometimes in spite of it. And they've always been there, and I'll always be there for them. And when you think about leaving, you're like, what would I have left? But yeah, Sarah Beth, I don't know what's going on with you in this regard, but you're certainly hit a new level of artistry and lyricism. Like, so the last two songs, this one and the prior one. And I've loved your work, as you know. You've seen my reactions, but something has touched your soul, your being, your mind, your whatever. And your songwriting and instrumentation is hitting a level of cohesion that's just radically different. And positively, even though the subject matter is difficult subject matter, it touches on the real. But hey, that's life. That is absolutely life. And sometimes we just lower the bar and expect less from others. And sometimes that's wise. That sometimes we set ourselves up for failure because we're expecting too much out of a relationship or an education or whatever we have, pick your thing. We expect too much out of it, and we set ourselves up for disappointment. And we're the problem, not the other person, who could become, in your mind, not yours, Sarah Beth, but in our minds, a puppet in our choreography, like a dancer in our choreography, and they're not doing what they're supposed to do. And we think our expectations are reasonable when in fact they're extraordinarily controlling, or just off base, or just Pollyannish. It's just life is very real, and sometimes we have to lower our expectations, and then the other person is happier with us. But what if I just left? Would I find greater freedom, Janis Joplin style? I don't know. So, all right, I'm going to rate this one because I've been off and running for quite a while on this one. The number on this that struck me immediately was a 9.3. And that's just a hell of a song. It's hell of reflections right there. It's beautiful. So, Sarah Beth, keep up. I know you're gonna keep up with it, but thank you for this and the request. So there you go, guys. I hope you enjoyed that. It's got me running. All right, have a great day. I'll see you on another video. Keep rocking the country.